G'day brew tubers. Cheers. Cheers. Alright, so what's happened since the last video? A couple of new additions. So you can see we've mounted the TV, a job we could do when it was raining and a bit windy outside. We've also mounted the GoPro, so this will be our permanent video spot or movie taking spot for our YouTube clips. We just cut a hole in the plastic casing here so we can run permanent data cable and a power cable from here, and there'll be some power boards put in here once we finish the cladding. Righto, so this is the other new addition since the last video. It's a fan driven heat exchanger that'll be used to cool down the... I know what it is, you wood duck. Counterflow chiller will be fed water that will be cooled through this system. We're going to have a vessel of water in the shed just below it that will be used to operate the cooler. We'll chill down the water that's feeding the counterflow chiller. And in turn that's we'll keep it cool even on hot days. Alright, so what are we doing today? We're extending the data cable for the lighting control system so as it can hook up to the rest of the house, thus controlling it from down there if we wanted to have any lighting up here. We also sprung a leak in the last big storm on the back wall, which we need to seal up, so we'll be sealing that up, getting the insulation on and planing the boards on the inside. Today is blowing at about 100 miles an hour, so holding large boards is quite difficult. So we're going to be doing small tinkering things. Tinker, to make sure that we get through as much as we can. Righto, let's get into it. Get into it. Cheers. So this is the fun of doing projects
on the fly.
On the fly, you think about something,
and you change it. You
think, oh, I'm going to do that, yeah, and then you just go and change it.
Right, so you want to push that gas line in?
Sure. Chunks can get a bit impatient sometimes. You just got to slow him down a bit. What we're doing here is feeding some more gas line through the wall that we'd already done, because we've changed the idea on how we're going to use the CO2 for pressure transfer out of the keg, out of the fermenter, which is the fridge that's going to live on that side. Right. So I'm sure it's not the last time we'll think on the fly. So we're going to feed the gas line, which we've already cut through these timbers, up in behind the cement sheeting here to go up, and the idea is for that gas line to go straight into the fermentation chamber, the fridge. We'll drill a hole, feed it through so the gas line's directly into the fermentation chamber. We're going to leave this bit of CO2 line through this timber work here, just in case in 6 months or 12 months after we actually get brewing in this thing, we decide a different plan. So we're just going to leave that there. All of these will be panels that we can readily pull off if we need to do any kind of maintenance or changes here. So we're going to use some corrugated iron just with a couple of screws so they'll be easy to come off. So now it's drill a new hole. Righto, so on this side of the nib wall, just behind the control panel here, you'll see the gas line. This is where we'll be feeding the CO2 from. You'll also see the water line. We'll have water and gas basically stationed here to feed back into the beer section, which the brewing section, which will be between these two nib walls. Righto, we've been debating for some time what material to use on the walls of the brew shed. We'd been thinking about plaster for a while. I think Yankees call that drywall, but it's heavy. It's pretty dusty when you're cutting it, and it does look a bit stale once you've finished it. So we decided to go with this. It's called bracing ply. It's like a three timber ply. It's comparatively lighter than plasterboard, easier to work with a saw, nowhere near as dusty. So we do that at the top of the walls, and then we use a corrugated iron tin at the bottom of the wall, as you can see here just below the TV, for a bit of protection. Righto, so where we got to? We put in this panelling. Okay, we put in top panelling. This will be where one of the fermentation fridges go. Swinging around, we put the timber section up next to the control box and switchboard, and then we've filled in this section in behind the GoPro camera. You can see the cement sheet here underneath the window. We're going to run that all the way through. This is going to be behind the bench, so if there's going to be any moisture there, we wanted to make sure that we didn't have board in behind there. And the last job we're going to try and do tonight is put another cupboard up on the top of the switchboard. Righto, this is the fitting off of the first aid cupboard, let's call it that. We want to have plenty of places to put stuff. So we've got timbers at certain widths and a cabinet that's wider, so we just need to work out exactly where these screws are going to go. So it's made of chipboard, it's heavy as hell. Let's see how it goes. Looking pretty good. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah? Yep. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. It's been a good session.
Good session today. Got a lot done. And in the moving forward, we are getting there.
Back on, but I think we're probably wrapping. Are we wrapping? No. Righto.
Cheers, biggies.
Please like, subscribe. We'd love to get you on board. Sharing our journey.
Hit us up with some comments.
No, you.
No. Okay.
Cheers. Righto. Cheers later.